I'm in a big rush today because I'm supposed to pick up my sister's dog from the groomers, and they said if I'm not there to pick her up, that they're just going to give the dog away.
Oh, really? Where's the dog getting its haircut?
It's getting its haircut in a place called Dog's Bazzers in Ballincollig.
Really? Is that the name of it?
Dog's Bazzers, yeah.
Just like old Bazzers in the middle of town in Cork.
The Dog's Bazzers is what they call it.
I'm in fucking awful form today, mate.
I can tell.
I'm very frustrated by everything.
Yeah, Denis got a brand new laptop, and he is like, this is going to be brilliant. I'm going to bring it into the studio. I'm going to show it all off. Brings it in, breaks instantly.
Yeah, lid falls off.
The whole thing.
Slides down the drain. Gone. Gone like.
And we tried putting...
I've effectively got an unbelievably smart keyboard now, is all I have.
And we tried the old trick of putting it in a full tikka masala to dry it out. Yeah. But it didn't work.
That ruined it. That's what you're meant to do though, if you spill it in rice.
Put it in a full tikka masala.
I also tried installing the OS again, which is the operating system for people in the know. Yeah. But my screen never grew back, so...
Who knows what?
Yeah.
And you got the Salamander edition as well. So when bits fell off, they were supposed to grow back, but...
Didn't grow back though.
No.
But on the phone all day to Windows. And they're like, oh, can you see this? And I'm like, no, because my lid is after sliding down a drain.
And then luckily enough, people say, that there's what's meant for you won't pass you. But actually, Denis got a phone call just a second ago before he turned his phone off. Got a phone call from a lad who said he was calling from Windows Vista and he could fix the computer as long as Denis just told him what his credit card details were. So he did that, and we're now waiting to see if the computer fixes itself.
Yeah. Bank has been ringing me non-stop, but I'm not answering those sales calls.
No.
Not happening.
They're a pain, aren't they? They'll just try and upsell you on a bigger interest rate.
Yeah.
Screw that. Did you enjoy your week with... we are in a big rush again this week because if I lose another one of my sister's dogs, I'm in big trouble.
What kind of dog is it?
It's a cross between a West Highland Terrier and a Saint Bernard.
Really?
Yeah.
Are its legs longer or is its body longer?
It walks in the fashion of a tipped over wheelbarrow.
You like that joke, did you?
I'm just remembering the good times I've had with the dog.
Have you seen the cat on the internet that looks like it's just got two legs?
No. Because
of whatever way it sits over. Actually, it's an ottoman. Don't know if you know what that is.
Check it out now, boys.
There we go. It's just lying off the edge of that, and it just looks like a cat with two legs. And I thought, that's hilarious.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. And then I went to sleep for the rest of the day.
You had a good day yesterday, didn't you?
I had a lovely day yesterday.
Will we tell the lads what we did yesterday? Oh, well, we had a lovely...
And the girls.
That's true. Well, I use lads as a gender neutral term.
Oh, yeah.
I really do.
You use all your terms as gender neutral, though, don't you?
I do.
Like men.
Men, yeah. The men, how are the boys? That's what I said to a group of nuns the other day.
Yeah. What were you doing hanging around a group of nuns?
I was repentant.
Actually, shout out to Michael.
Yeah?
Shout out to Michael, who was at a gig the other night. We were chatting to him in the audience from the stage, who works with nuns in Tralee.
That's true.
What does he do for a living?
He's an archivist, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
He is indeed. Will we kick on with the episodes?
Yeah, if you want to. Why are we in that much of a rush, yeah?
You were in that much
You keep looking at your watch, man, and fidgeting.
Yep. And again, big shout out to Eric. Because Eric, you won't believe this. He only bloody...
I hope it's fit for the airwaves now, Raj.
It is. He went out on Valentine's Day. Had no woman at the start of Valentine's Day. By the end of Valentine's Day, he had procured one.
Oh, yeah? I thought he was going out with the cleaner.
Don't bring that up.
Why? What happened there?
Oh, no. You don't want to bring that up.
No, go on. What happened?
Basically, he was using her to get cleaning supplies.
Oh, yeah?
And to get into the studio in off hours.
That's where he was getting the ammonia from, so.
Yeah, and he was coming in on off hours to use the shower.
You know that they there's warnings on those things not to mix them because of the things they produce. He was mixing them like mad.
Oh, yeah, and you should see what he produced.
Locking himself into the closet and everything.
Yeah.
But he was hotboxing the place with chlorine.
When's Father's Day?
Father's Day is, let me think now. I've no idea.
Mother's Day is March, is it?
I don't
know. Because I remember asking Eric when he was having a cigarette outside. It smelled a really weird smelling cigarette. But he was having that outside after one of our January podcasts. And he said that his goal was that by Father's Day he would have access to the children again.
Oh, that's a nice goal, though.
Yeah.
Something to work towards.
It is, yeah. Will we kick off with the first episode?
Yeah, go on. It's episode 1 this week. Is episode 1. It's Fair City. That's the program we talk about.
Yeah.
And it's episode 1.
Episode 1, broadcast on Sunday the 10th of February.
Are you timing these as well?
Oh, yeah. Paul realises the influence Charlotte has over Oisin and Callum. Bella considers selling his house. Ellie pushes back against Renee, and Cass discovers the art of skip diving.
Set up a home cinema yesterday, so I did.
You did not. Did you watch it on the home cinema setup?
Fair City. I'll tell you now, lads. Look.
If you say what I suspect you're about to say, I'll hang you.
You'll hang me?
I'll hang you.
How would you hang me?
How would I hang you?
That'd be impossible.
Do you think that would be impossible, do you?
Yeah. How would you do it?
How would I do it? Wait a minute. You're diverting from.
No, I want to actually find out how you'd hang someone.
How would I hang you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd tell you that I was setting up a lovely little, what would you call it? A rope feature.
I'm having an apple square, so enjoy the munching.
Brilliant. This is a man now who kills me if I ever let the TikToks on my timer on my phone play. Which is what I call them, the TikToks.
You're always on TikTok these days, actually, aren't you?
What? Oh, I am.
Yeah.
The old.
What did you think I meant?
I don't know what. When you say stuff now, I'm just ready to. I'm ready to defend myself because I don't know what it's going to be. But basically, what I do is I get a rope, and I tie it up on a very high beam, and I'd say to you, Denis,
we've the physics right.
Yeah, and I said, Denis, I bet to God now you couldn't climb up there.
Bet to God isn't a phrase.
I bet to God that you couldn't climb up there, and get into that rope with your chin. And you're so competitive, you'd go, oh, I'll take this bet, and you'd go up and you'd just edge your chin in, and at that exact moment, I'd shoot you with a bow and arrow.
Yeah, I think that would actually work.
Yeah,
if you said I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
and then I do it. But loads of people would say, "Oh, you can't do that," and I bet I can. But then I'll end up not doing it anyway.
Yeah, but you just like betting.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah,
that's how you lost that family in America. The two of them.
Florida.
One of the most interesting. Have you ever heard this thing about how? Do you own the Back to the Future movies? Mm-hmm. Great movies, I'd say.
They're about time travel.
They are. They're about time travel. This podcast, in a lot of ways, is about time travel, or at least time dilation, slowing everything down.
I hate time travel.
Yeah?
Oh,
our mutual friend Thomas.
Watched Terminator yesterday, and they tried to explain. They tried to explain it at the end, and it was kind of like, lads,
screw that.
We can't let this go. We'll have to explain a bit, and they explained it, and I was like, you've made it worse.
That was like how you felt when your girlfriend explained that she was cheating on you as well. You were like, the more you explain this, the worse it gets.
I was like, if I go back in time and kill my own grandfather, will I not exist? She was like, I think you're having a nervous breakdown.
But a lot of people talk about in the Back to the Future movies that it's a plot point that George McFly, if somebody says, "Are you Chicken McFly?" that's used to drive the narrative forward. But they don't set that up at all until about 70 minutes into the first movie. And we're just expected then to know the fact that Marty McFly hates being called chicken.
My argument with those movies is that they're not really that good.
Do you not like them at all, no?
They're not, they're grand, but they're not as good as what they're saying they are,
I can't remember, some celebrity.
It's almost like people like to attach their personalities to things.
Oh yeah.
To almost feel like they made the movie, but they didn't.
At this exact moment, I'll have to say that Denis is wearing a red
pair of dungarees.
Matched.
One strap off.
And on the top half, he's wearing like a red gilet, kind of a life preserver type thing. And he's a backwards baseball
This is
cap.
not a fucking life preserver. This is a top quality H&M gilet.
Some celebrity, I was listening to an interview with them.
A gilet would be an awful life preserver. Don't go into the water if you're wearing a gilet.
No. And also, it will just get bogged down with seawater.
Yeah, and limpets. Barnacles actually will go into your pockets and sink you.
I got a brand new coat. Absolutely delighted with it. Ripped it last night off a railing. I want to join Denis in that noose.
As one of your phrases that you don't normally acknowledge. Can I tell you something?
Go on.
I was delighted when you told me you ripped your new coat.
Oh yeah, do you know how I knew that?
It gave me a warm feeling in the bottom of my stomach.
You won't be able to see what I'm doing here, but I'm going to mime for Denis what his face did when I told him.
I'll describe it. I'm half smiling.
The edges of your mouth went from a straight line to an evil crescent.
I Cheshire catted him.
Well, that's another thing, isn't it?
No, is it? Is that a sexual term?
Yeah, I think anything can be a sexual term if you just say it with enough conviction.
I was coastering. Oh yeah, it is.
Bingo. Oh, well, that's another one.
I tabled him.
So we didn't even get you're out of time.
Oh yes, that's the end of episode 1.
Did you not watch that?
There mightn't be jingles this week either because Eric. We warned him not to bring his toaster into the studio. We said it's going to create fires. There's no like air ventilation system in here that's going to get rid of that smoke. And sure, had a little bit of a toaster fire because he left too many crumbs at the end of the toaster. And he only went and grabbed it.
Threw it in the bath, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He stuck his fingers into it. Burnt his hands. Some would say he was trying to get rid of his fingerprints to commit a crime, but that's just a nasty rumor. And now he can't use any of the controls, so he probably won't have any jingles either this week. I think he's mad at us. I think he actually stuck his fingers in there deliberately in protest of us not bringing him to Galway last week.
Oh, that is true. Well, we had a good trip to Galway, didn't we?
Lovely trip to Galway.
Brilliant gigs. I had a great
lovely
gig.
gigs.
I had a great gig.
What's what are you on? Episode 2?
Episode 2 now, Tuesday, 12th of February.
Are we still doing Fair City?
Yeah. The Collins' family reel when they receive shocking news. Charlotte is devastated by Oisin's betrayal. Ellie's evening ends in disaster, and Deegan's outburst causes concern for Cass.
Do you think you'd ever get a job as one of those people who wait around in RTE until something goes wrong or there's a new program starting and then you have to go in and say when it's starting? You've kind of got a voice for it.
Do you mean continuity announcer?
Yeah, something that like you just wouldn't even notice.
You're saying
it just passes into the background.
Wow, that's such a compliment. Because the last time...
I think you'd snap up one of those jobs.
The last time you commented on my voice, it was that you found it incredibly irritating. So now it's just gone into wallpaper. It's just downgraded to...
Yeah. Well, no, just your description voice, because it's startlingly different.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I start to get irritating when I talk
it's
about
like
Fair
dropping
City.
from first gear into like half gear, if it existed.
If it existed. Do you ever coast in a car?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's great.
God, you're so on the ball today, aren't you?
I know, I just thought you had a funny anecdote about coasting. No?
Well, I was coasting with a girl there the other night.
You were not. What's coasting? Explain to me what coasting is.
Coasting is when you slip out when you don't mean to and you just keep going. Scene 1. That could work.
In the tops of her legs. All right, go on. Keep going.
Paul Brennan trying to secure another new business deal. And there's Brennan's bread up on the table.
You know, it's lovely.
Having
an old glass of orange juice in one hand.
Can I tell you now?
Cup of coffee in the other.
I'm absolutely shocked that you didn't call that a goblet.
A goblet?
Yeah.
I feel I've let myself down.
Yeah, because Denis, I'll tell you now about Denis. Denis doesn't drink much, except for when he's alone. But when he does drink, he drinks Smithwick's.
Even though everyone kills me over it.
Everyone goes, why are you drinking that? And when he's drinking...
Why are you drinking a fucking water fountain of gin, you fucking dickhead?
He always says, he goes, oh, I'm going to order a Smithwick's, and I hope they give it to me in the Smithwick's goblet. You'd be honest, say that.
I do say that.
Yeah.
So what? Something to be ashamed of.
And sometimes they'll give it to you in, let's say, like a Heineken glass. And you, without fail, as it's being handed to him, he does a false grip around it before it's actually landed on the table. Does a false grip around it to trick the barman into thinking the barman can let go of his grip, and instead just lets it fall and smash on the countertop, and goes, "Oh no!" And the barman says, "Oh crap! Oh that's my fault. I'll get you another one." And you go, "In a goblet this time, please."
All right. Here's a question for you. Right. Let's say you come over to my apartment. All right.
Yeah.
And I have somehow transmorphed into a hippopotamus. Right, and I'm going to stay a hippopotamus for 2 weeks.
2 whole weeks.
2 whole weeks, right? How do you keep me from being killed or put in a zoo?
Oh, good question.
No, remember, I'm in my apartment, so it's like, second, third floor, something like that. I can't remember.
No, penthouse. Number one thing I do, I get one of those small birds to pick parasites off you.
Okay, good,
First
great.
thing
yeah.
I do.
My back is sorted.
Yeah. Number two, second thing, I dress you in a suit.
Okay.
And then I start walking around with you outside. And anyone who comments on it, I say you actually have a debilitating illness.
Yeah.
And I put a hat on you and shades.
Surely it's not debilitating though. Like other than, but like I still have my mental faculties. I am superior in strength in all sorts of ways. I can now swim underwater. Even though they don't swim underwater, they walk.
Really? They
Yeah.
go down to the bottom.
Yeah. Sink down the fat fucks and push themselves off the rocks.
Three things I want to say here. One is that Phoebe is
Wait a minute, how do you get me out of the apartment and down the stairs? I'm a hippopotamus. I'm huge.
I sneak into an apartment above you.
All right.
Nothing unusual there. All of the apartments above you, and I use all the plug holes in the sinks, and what I do then is I turn on all the taps and I let it flood so it'll stream down the stairs.
A slip and slide.
Yeah, and I've created a way to get you out of the apartment.
Yeah.
You use the slip and slide.
But I'll just go straight through the first wall, like, because there's a turn in the stairs. You've just killed me again.
Again. Second time. Three things that I feel are important to bring up in this interview. One, in this episode of First City. One, Callum is flirting with Charlotte. They supposedly went out before.
But isn't she's off with
Sheen.
He's off coasting with
Tessa. No, that's not going so well, I'd say. Two, Phoebe buys a Valentine's card in front of Mairead, and when Mairead goes, "Ooh," who is Phoebe's mother, Phoebe goes, "None of your business.com, Mom." Yeah, she says that.
.com.
Yeah, none of your business.com, Mom.
Is that because the internet's like a recent kind of fad?
Yeah.
Do you ever? You know what, man? The sooner the internet is over, the better.
The better.
Yeah, I'm so sick of it.
Do you remember your dad almost invested in the internet, and then he said, "No, there'll be no point."
He said, "Nah, forget about it. I'll just work in the post office for another 35 years."
Here's I can get a bowl of water for Crystal at the end of it.
Bowl of water for Crystal and a chicken dinner dance.
Chicken dinner dance. What is that dancing with a
chicken?
With a cooked chicken?
Yeah.
A rotisserie?
No, a live chicken.
Two other things. You will
defeathered though.
I know you didn't watch this episode because you're evil, but an unbelievable thing happens.
Roger,
you didn't watch any of them.
I don't think I'm.
You're safe. You're turning into a hippo before my eyes.
I don't think I'm invested in Fair City anymore.
Really?
Oh, I never explained what I did with the little. I set up a projector in my living room, as you've seen.
Okay.
And only went to go on and watch Fair City, except that on the opposite wall of where the screen is being projected is a window, and outside there is a public car park, and I was like, can't let people see that I'm watching Fair City in a cinema-sized wall.
You would be committed, like.
Yeah, I said it's not good. So I said no way. So I just watched Terminator.
This is an absolutely though. You would have loved this episode because there's a skip of rubbish. I don't know why. Cass is selling the stuff on the street, and John the guard has come over to complain to them. And then later on in the episode, a bunch of characters are fighting in front of the skip, and John the guard. We find out that it's actually because he has health concerns because he found a lump. John the guard shouts, "Jesus! All of you have stupid little problems, and none of them are life and death. You just need to calm down." And John the guard is literally having a breakdown at the prospect of there being plot lines in Fair City. He's so frustrated at plot.
What's going on?
That he's like, screw this.
Can I get more coffee from the pot?
Okay.
Do you want some?
No, I'm grand.
Okay, I'm going to get some though.
Okay, well, we're done that episode.
And then I'm going to tell you something great for my third episode.
Brilliant.
All right? So you keep talking there for like 3 seconds.
I will, yeah, I'll vamp.
I hope the Tesco man doesn't come in again though.
Oh my God. Yeah, so we have a coffee pot in the just outside the studio. Denis has just popped out there to it. I'll get going with episode 3. It was broadcast on Wednesday, the 13th of February. Paul revels in destroying Charlotte and Oisin's relationship.
You
Charlotte,
love rebels.
I do actually. It's not so much really a bag of chocolates as it is a support group for the chocolates that couldn't get their own bags. Charlotte is shocked by Oisin's plans for them. Ray uncovers Deegan's secret. Renee insists that Ellie is innocent. Lee accuses Bella of double dealing.
So, did you say that John the Guard had a health problem?
Yeah.
What happened to him?
He had an old lump down there, wouldn't you believe it?
A lump in his old balls.
They don't specify, but yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, right? So
Here we go.
We're all about men's health. I
Same
went
thing.
to the doctor during the week.
Yeah.
To get me balls checked.
Yeah.
You should have seen Roger's face. You can't talk about your balls. You can only talk about Newgrange resembling an ass for a half an hour.
I don't recall that.
So anyway, went to the doctor, and I rang up the reception people.
Bring,
whatever.
bring.
I said, "Hey, how are you getting on?"
Hey,
Said,
Mr. Lynn.
I said, "Can I have an appointment?"
Oh, okay. Can I just ask what you want to get checked?
No, can't tell you that. Too embarrassed. But
It's the balls.
it's not my balls. It's
Oh,
a
it's
cough.
the ass.
No, it's my wrist. I have a wrist infection.
His wrist is hurting from his balls.
So anyway, I says to her, "Is male doctor 1 in?" She goes, "No." How about female doctor 1? And I was like, "No." And then she's like, "Male doctor 2?" And I was like, "No." And then she was like, "Okay, what about female doctor 2?" And I was like, "No." And then she was like, She was like, "Tony, so on Friday." And I was like, "Yeah." Hope that's not annoying. But anyway, went along because I thought there was something wrong with my right ball. But I got to a point where I couldn't figure out whether or not I was just so intently focused on it, and that was actually what was wrong with it.
Yeah.
Or whether I actually had something wrong with it. Have you ever tried to check your balls for lumps?
Yeah, you actually have to press
It's hard
them.
enough.
You have to press them far. You have to scrunch them up far tighter than you'd like, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But at the back, then there's a very confusing tube as well that can really.
The vas deferens is, I think, what you're talking about.
Is it?
Is that?
I thought it had a different name.
Well, maybe it could be. I just think that's the
It's meant-
tube that they cut if you're getting a vasectomy.
It's meant to be stringy, like spaghetti.
Ugh.
But anyway, yeah, no, it could be. I don't know. But yeah, so I went into the old doctor. Never met the guy before. Right, this was 9 o'clock in the morning on a Friday. I went in. I said, "All right."
That's usually your Fridays anyway, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I said, "All right, Tony, right? How are you getting on?" And he was like, "How are you?" And he's like, "So, what's the problem, like?" And I was like, "Oh well, like I don't know, there's something wrong with my balls." Like, so he was like, "Okay, cool." He was like, "Sit up there, so right," and he basically went like, "Oh, fuck's sake," you know.
Wow.
So I sat up, pulled down my pants. I'm up on the table, and he looks at me like, and I just go, "I'm sorry, this is your first appointment," which he found very funny. But he asked me.
It sounded like you were about to say he had a great time.
I'd actually, you know what? I had a great laugh. I was going to say the first man. Has anyone else felt my balls? Yeah, probably the first man to feel my balls. And,
Really?
I think so. Yeah. Have you had any male comrades feel your balls before?
Doctors, like
Yeah, but sure. Why are you saying really so to?
the first ever.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Really? So you never would have had anyone ever feel down there for medical situations in the past, no?
The last time that I went there, it was. You know what I find weird.
You used to specify female doctors before.
What does that have to do with anything? Completely out of context. That was different.
I thought it was very progressive of you.
They're called doctresses. What's wrong with that? But no, the only other time that occurred was hilarious because it was like a penis fashion show. Because I went in there and it was I don't know what the fuck. Maybe I had a pain in my abdomen or something.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, "Look, we'll just have a look as well, you know, blah blah." So I was like, "Yeah, Grant, no worries." Like, and so he made me like kind of like, you know, "Oh, turn it to the left, turn it to the right," you know, let's have a look under it. So
I don't want to touch it.
He didn't touch it. So
Yeah.
But anyway, your man did feel my balls for lumps.
It was all fine, wasn't it?
All good. He said there's no red flags.
Just the two.
Yeah, but it was really funny though because he was like, "What does it feel like?" And I was like, "It's like I'm just way more aware I have testicles.
Wow.
And he was just like, what does that mean?
The
yeah, so don't be afraid to go get your balls checked
I s-
and check your balls. But it is. I actually find it hard enough to check your balls because you don't know
what's new?
pussycat.
I think Dylan Moran has one of the best lines about that ever, where he says it's very hard to check yourself down there because it's looking for a lump in a bag of lumps.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Have you ever got kicked in the balls?
Oh yeah. Do you want to know something
Oh,
interesting?
yeah.
Do you want to know something interesting about Richard Magley?
Yeah.
When he was going,
Who's Richard Magley?
is it Magley or Madeley? The guy.
I don't know.
He's the.
I don't know either of them.
Richard and Judy.
Oh,
know,
right,
from
okay,
the
yeah,
UK.
yeah.
In his autobiography, it mentions that he went to get a snip,
Mm-hmm.
a vasectomy, which is where I learned the term vas deferens. And when he goes in, they give you local anesthetic down
Mhm.
there. Because there's no point.
I love the way you're being so like coy and stuff about like
And I've said
down there,
horrendous
and you've
stuff.
said awful shit over these episodes.
How'd you like it down there, boys? All I'll say is they call her Dr. Squeeze for a reason. But there is a
They won't like that.
but they gave him local anesthetic down there, and then as they're performing on it, he twinged as they were doing something, and he said, "Oh, have you?" Oh, he goes, "Can you feel that?" He says, "Yes." He goes, "Oh, you shouldn't be able to." And as they got in there, he said, "Oh no, you've loads of scar tissue down here, and that's stopping the anesthetic from working." And he goes, "Did you ever have any injury on your balls?" And he said, "Well, I would have been kicked in the balls a lot in secondary school, but apart from that, no." And then he said, "Oh well, I'm very sorry, but we've gone too far to stop now. You're just going to have to grin and bear it."
Oh wow.
Yeah, but imagine that it was coming back to haunt you.
The worst kick in the balls I ever got was playing pool.
What?
Playing pool, so my legs were kind of.
You used to be a pool shark, used
Yeah, I
you?
was. Yeah, but I hustled up and down the country.
Yeah.
They used to call me the Paul Newman of Mallow. I was playing pool and I just had my legs spread eagle on top of the pool table. Someone rifled me into the balls.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the final episode?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so it's episode 4, broadcast on Thursday the 14th of February. As Oisin happily prepares for a new life in London with Charlotte, Paul grows suspicious when he notes tensions between her and Callum. A Valentine's embarrassment for Ellie fuels a feud between Renee and Mairead. The Collinses unite to try and win Bella over. Deegan's friends rally around him as he goes for a checkup. One thing I forgot in the previous episode is that Paul Brennan starts flirting with Mairead, and Renee says Mairead basically tells Mairead to go for it, and when she says to Bob, "Wouldn't they be lovely together?" Bob goes, "Paul Brennan? No." He's like, even he's aware of like this is a really stupid thing to introduce.
Paul Brennan as an actor, though, you know,
Hot man.
must be liking that he. What? No. Well, yeah, maybe I don't know. Must be liking that he's a Lothario on the street, you know. So,
Ooh.
any new women actresses, any new women actors?
You call them film actors, don't you?
Oh, there's loads of names from really, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know what? I probably shouldn't play up those jokes because, you know, out of context, which is how everyone takes everything these days. Huh?
I'm not answering that.
Come on, Raj. We had a big conversation before this podcast.
Or is it really a conversation if it's just one lad shouting at me while I go, yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's true.
You were doing all the talking.
Eric's in there now.
Oh, Eric can flip off. Sick of Eric.
Did you know Eric?
Did you see the state of the place when we came in today after he ate that fucking 50% extra free packet of hobnobs?
Do you want?
The place was I was crunching going around my fucking feet. Like.
This is really sad. But did you hear what Eric did the other day?
What did he do?
He bought one of those 50% extra free, the really big dairy milk bars.
Yeah.
And he went back in with it after eating half of it. And he asked if he could get the money back because he'd only eaten the free half.
Is that someone else's joke?
No, he did that. That's so sad, isn't it?
That's someone else's fucking joke.
That's not somebody else's joke.
Definitely is.
That's not how.
Sounds familiar.
Somebody's.
You've done us in.
So I've done us in.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna get done in for, is it?
Yeah. This
Typical.
is great anyway.
Bloody typical.
Fucking down the tubes. Down the back of my ball tubes.
That the Eric as well. He's at that status now where if he gets a bus, everyone else in the bus is aware that he's on based on his smell alone.
His smell.
His smell. Since he broke it off with you, know.
But sure, he's got a new one now, you said.
Dennis, I was implying that he had hired somebody's services.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, Eric is in there now with his hands over his face.
Did I ever tell you the time I was working over in a business in Google and a guy brought in a lunch date that was actually a prostitute?
You did, but not on the podcast. So go ahead. Go on.
This lad who changed his name on the business fucking database or whatever. It's a huge company. You all know it. But he changed his name to a 3-letter word, which was just a nonsense word or whatever, because it sounded like, you know, something from the Matrix or something. A bit of a strange dude. But he brought his girlfriend to lunch once, and she was no girlfriend. Let me put it that way.
Whoa!
Because I was talking to her at reception.
Whoa! You've done some similar things, haven't you?
What?
Just in terms of changing your name on a database.
Yeah, and going out to lunch with men.
Yep.
But how bad?
Here
I'll have to make a living.
We had a really romantic breakfast yesterday, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, down in Tony B's.
We went to Tony B's.
B's.
If anyone is ever in the Cork area, please do yourself a favour and go to Tony's Bistro on North Main Street.
Yeah.
Excellent establishment.
Tony B will be in there.
Yeah.
He's an Irish lad with a faux Italian accent. But God, the humour you can get from that.
Yeah, the amount of times as well, he'll come down. They pretty much, you'd think they'd serve Italian food. I'll tell you now, they don't. They serve multiple different versions of all-day breakfasts, which I've said before, and I stand by this, that the all-day breakfast is the peak of civilization.
So we went for a little, just a cup of tea in one of the establishments in Cork that I like going to, 14A, and went for an old cup of tea.
Yeah.
Raj says, "Here, Dan, don't worry, bye. Got these. I got these."
You're bringing this up now.
He comes back. The Visa machine is broken. Fucking stuck with the bill again. 2 fucking monster coffees. Fuck's sake. A tenner I had in my pocket, blown to smithereens.
Do you find that if you break a tenner, that's it?
I find that if I have cash in my pocket, I might as well throw it down the drain with the lid of my laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try my absolute best to never ever have money on me.
Yeah, or spend.
Or spend anything. I live on dust, as Denis says.
Yeah.
But what I did, I'll tell you this about
dust and milkshakes from McDonald's.
Oh my God!
I think I'm gone off the milkshakes. If anyone has any recommendations where you can get just a fairly run-of-the-mill milkshake that you're not going to have to go in and fucking, you know, wear a jacket to fucking drink, you know what I mean by that, a restaurant.
Yeah. Would you
else
say
you can
Rock
get
and Joe's?
Nah, man.
Shake Shack?
Fuck Rock and Joe's.
I made up Shake Shack. Surely is a place, but there's none in Cork.
There's a Shake Dog.
Shake Dog, yeah.
And a Doggy Shake. And a Shake My Dog.
Would you do you ever feel like if you went into one of those places and said a nonsense like portmanteau of diner words very, very, very confidently to them, they'd try and serve you something, assuming
all right, what would
you'd
you
order
go in there,
something.
son? And let's say there's a place called Shake My Dog.
Shake My Dog.
So you go in there, say, "Hey, can I have a
hashy dog shake?"
Yeah, I'd say you get one of them.
Yeah.
Can I have a monster truck dick?